All right, guys, one more time. Let's do this again. Take two. I did a State of the Island this morning, and I did it at the vet's office because we had some things going on this morning with Star-Lord. Get into those in a second. But anyway, I put the post up across all four social media platforms, and apparently, what do you call it? There was no sound. How cool is that? I go back to my video. There's no sound in the video, so I don't know if somehow I could hit mute, but I did. And it wasn't anything I could adjust or fix or anything like that. So, long story short, I had to erase them all, and we're doing it again. Got my little Claire Bear with me, and I'll explain her in a minute. But let's talk about Star-Lord. The reason I did this morning is because Star-Lord had a relatively unexpected appointment at the doctor's office. I've had it scheduled for a few days. He was going back in tomorrow, regardless, for his phenobarbital checkup to see if what his blood levels were, so that we can permanently keep him on phenobarb, make sure there's no issues with it, and then slowly wean him off the Keppra. This is all for seizures. I do have a few, even with the CBD, a few of them that have, they have seizures from time to time, and they require medication. Buck, Mocha, Star-Lord, and Roddy. And then, of course, every once in a great while, we'll have one dog have a seizure, like once in a lifetime. But, so those things happen. Anyway, so we had to check on that. But anyway, last week, Star-Lord's eye started to shut, his right eye. And it didn't appear that he got in anybody smacked him with a tail or scratched him or anything like that. So, at first it was like, okay, what's going on, bud? And he wouldn't eat along with it. So, he's older, and naturally I start to worry. So I'm paying attention to him. He's not eating this regularly. He's not eating all his food. And then, you're tired because you ate all that food, aren't you, baby? So, beginning of this week, I made an appointment for him because I also noticed that he was getting this white pus coming out of his eye, out of the eyelid, I should say. So I'm thinking some kind of infection, but it was weird that it was white pus and not yellow. I'll explain that in a second. It shows that we do pay attention, and our observations are kind of cool because we realize what's going on that's different than the norm. But with everything going on lately, I just start thinking the worst. I'm thinking, okay, we just had Pip in for uveitis, and I'm thinking this is only in one eye. There was no evidence of a bite or a scratch or anything like that, or a tail. So anyway, I'm thinking, okay, my God, he's got uveitis, or God forbid there's some kind of life-ending disease. I don't know. I get a hypochondriac about that. Anyway, the good news is about having to redo this video is I actually have the results right now from it, which is good. So we get them in there, and it turns out it's very interesting that we noticed that, because several of us said it, it's not a yellow ooze like infection, it's a white ooze. Well, it turns out once we stained his eye up this morning in the doctor's office, Dr. Owens noticed that there was some small perforations, to which he says, it looks like something like he was looking through some bushes or something like that, which is highly possible with the mulch and stuff outside. He could have scratched it that way. It doesn't look like somebody scratched it like that, or a tail in the eye. So it must have been something from outside. It's just kind of interesting because I like to determine, I like to educate myself on stuff. And where it's cool about the pus coming out is that was actually edema. And at first, when the pus was coming out, that was the water that was filling up in there in his eye and leaking out. And that stopped beginning of this week when I scheduled this appointment. But then his eyes started clouding over, which is also what made me think, oh my God, uveitis or cataracts or glaucoma, God knows what. Like I said, he's getting older. But no, it turns out that the edema, the perforations closed up, and the edema was filling up in the eyeball, making it look almost like a cataract. So good news is a little bit of gave him a little pain shot this morning, subcutaneous pain shot, and some eye drops for antibiotics. And he should be clearing up just fine. So we're gonna check him next week. So good news is I'm sitting there worried about something for nothing. And of course now he's eating like a horse. I will say he did not eat this morning, and that's because the pain medicine that he got this morning, they said he's gonna want to do nothing but sleep. So we'll get him some food this evening. But all is right with him now. So sorry to make everybody worry as I'm sitting there with a video with no sound. For those of you that read lips, you're ahead of the game. Anyway, so let's talk about the big fun news. This is the last thing I'm gonna talk about, guys. And that would be, what do you call it? That we're going down here in a few minutes. Claire Bear, Nugget, and Rosie and I, we're all going down, take about an hour-and-a-half trip. Those of you that have been like the what do you call it? The wheel Nazis, the wheel police. We're going down to look at getting her fit for some wheels. I'm really excited about this. Somebody that has a company reached out to me. I won't plug them just yet until they're comfortable with it. But we're going down to their facility to do this. I'm also going to talk to them about Rosie. I was going to do Rosie before Brittany passed away, and unfortunately, I was going to do that with another company, and I honestly lost through all the messages. This is why I said please don't message me all this mindless shit with the memes and all that, because I can never get to the messages that are important. And you know, this one here just went by the wayside. It's hundreds and hundreds of messages deep, and I forget the guy's name, but he was going to help us with Rosie's wheels. So in light of that, I'm going to have to try to see what I can do with her down here. Nugget's just going along for moral support. She'll never take wheels. But anyway, and Crash, I built him. We've done so many sets of custom wheels for him, and I've built him a set of wheels, and I'm tweaking them. I might actually have a solution to his wheels. I saw something on social media that looked very accommodating for him. I tried to build it, but I made it too big and bulky. Tim the Toolman Taylor, for those of you guys who know, more power. So I made the piping too big and everything like that. I think it's too rigid. It's not very comfortable for him. I want something that's a little more flexible. So with that being said, he's not going to go with me today, but the other three are. So we're going to have a fun day of it, right, Claire Bear? And she's going to get her body casted. And how they do that is they wrap her in this kind of like a gauze wrap, except for it's wet. And you leave it on her for a minute, it hardens up, you cut it off her, and then you got a perfect mold of her body. That's how they did it for Nugget and Crash when we tried to get theirs. So I'm assuming that's how they're going to do it today. I will say this, she's going to grow. So this is like the first of God knows how many sets if she takes to it. And even if she doesn't take to it, this is where it gets hard in doing it too soon. And I learned this with Jaws when we tried to do his helmet. Well, when we did his helmet too soon, he got scared of it. He never wanted the helmet again. And that's one thing I do worry about with this is if they get too freaked out. Crash, I think this is the same way. I think we did him too soon, and he wasn't comfortable with it. So anyway, long story short, and really freaked out to where you can't even get him near it. So I hope that doesn't happen with her. I think she's a lot more stronger of a personality, so not really that worried about it. But I am worried about her growing and having to do this every few months, for God knows how long. But you know, I'll learn some things from them today, and you know, maybe work with them in the future, because Lord knows we have enough of them here to bring repeat business into them, and of course plugging them when they're ready for anybody else that wants to use them. So you guys will be getting lots of videos from that today, and some videos and pictures from that today as we go along. I'm excited to bring it to you. I'm excited to see how Claire does. She's not getting the wheels today. They have to make everything, but it's going down for the consult and getting her body casted, and the first steps in it. So look forward to that. You guys can look forward to seeing her in the future with it, right, kid? You got to go potties. You just ate a ton of food. A ton of food, young lady. Look at this little fat thing. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Look at the belly. Look at the belly. Oh, I'm so big now. I'm so belly. Belly. All right, thank you, guys. We'll talk to you soon. I don't want to step on you, baby.